Puan Shafinaz has been supporting Creator and also MYStartup for the past 7 years. And thank you so much, Cyberview, for hosting this event, the first kickstart MYStartup next level for the ecosystem today. So I know some of you have known Shafinaz, but please give her some 2-3 minutes to introduce yourself, because we see some new faces here who I think just incorporate their startup, so they want to know what is your role in Cyberview. Maybe you can also ask if you want to network your team dekat belakang tu. I can see Ang there. Hi, Ang.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Welcome to Rekascape. Welcome to Cyberjaya. Very pleased to see faces, especially after Hari Raya. Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Well, maybe it's too preliminary, but I can say that next week a lot of open houses among the agencies, including us.
Yes.
I think we even spoke about during Puasa hari tu kan, to have a shared calendar, because we know we're going to invite these startups as well, you know, as our community-friendly parties to network, because that's part of the journey in the startups to collaborate, you know. But anyway, coming to your first question tadi kan, yeah, I mean gladly that you mentioned that we've known, well, 2015,
2015,
how long?
So long already.
How long? Okay, maybe a little bit history, a bit background about myself. My name is Shafinaz. Cyberjaya is very close to my heart. Why? Because coming next week, 17th of May, there will be a 26th anniversary of Cyberjaya. Okay, and it has come a long way. When I came to Cyberjaya, where I joined the previous company, it was only I think there's a typical story about Cyberjaya. It was just the kelapa sawit, you know, the palm trees and the Cyberview Resort. So people always get confused until today, Cyberview Sdn Bhd and Cyberview Resort. But we are not interrelated somehow. It's just that we are in Cyberjaya. Okay. So for Cyberview itself, we are a company under Ministry of Finance, and we are essentially now we're the tech hub developer. In a simple word, we are master developer for Cyberjaya, but we are to focus on the Cyberjaya as a destination for technology innovation, right? So my role here in Cyberview itself is to look at the ecosystem development. You know, being a place, it will not come to a meaning if there is no content.
Maybe we can ask, how many of you have office in Cyberjaya? Can you raise up your hand?
At least, okay.
The one that don't raise up your hand can come to Puan Shafinaz. She will give you a land. I will tell you how big is the land. I will tell you.
Thank you, Isham. But normally, when I speak to people, I don't talk about place, space, or land. I would rather talk about the content, what's in it in Cyberjaya, because there's just, even for me, I don't know every single little corner of Cyberjaya. There's so many places, eateries, parks, companies, big, small startups, ideas, students, communities, to interact. So that's pretty much the role of my role, and together with the team, the Technology Hub Development Division. We're a very small team, but we have a very big role to play in Cyberview, and we always talk about our role not just for Cyberjaya, it's a national agenda. We always look at the big picture, you know, as a country, we want to move forward, we want to see the economic growth. So we want to see our Cyberjaya is still, you know, it's very much relevant, if not after coming to 26 years, we are very much no longer the green field, we're the brown field. It's a city. It's a city where a lot of things are happening. It's just that we need to talk more, we need to show more to people to see, not just to see, but also to experience it. So in a nutshell, that's to simply put, not to bore everyone.
So you guys meet up the right person in Cyberjaya. Okay, so basically, for you guys' information, Cyberview, or even though Cyberjaya, is already more than 2-decade establishment. So at the beginning, we want to make sure this become a technology hub. So for you guys know, Cyberjaya is Cyberjaya, but actually they are being divided into 4 sections within the northern, southern, east, and also west. And each of these divisions have their own roles in building up the footprint, the global ecosystem footprint. So for the past 2 decades, I will go to my first question. How close Cyberview in achieving the vision as global tech hub, and where are we now? I know you have the likes of Dell and a lot of startups from here, Supergene, also born from Cyberjaya, even though the Kapitani guy up here in Cascade won the my hackathon, you also don't know, right? Right.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, okay. So a lot of potential startup actually come from here actually. But
Okay.
a lot of people doesn't know actually. So how do we close to that, achieving that vision now?
Okay. You know, if you guys would be here if it's not to say, you know, where Cyberjaya has achieved today. You know, even among of you, you put your hands up that you are in Cyberjaya, but many more to come.
Yep.
You know, that itself to say that, you know, in terms of the technology innovation, as a tech-preferred location, and globally, it just doesn't start from the multinational companies.
Yep.
You know, that's why I am here in Cyberview itself, you know, compared to previous company, because I've seen the coming in of the multinational companies, and then I would say it's like a vicious life cycle, and you want to see the domestic ecosystem to start to flourish as well. And now we're seeing the startups starting to flourish.
Yep.
Of course, through various initiatives, and it doesn't come from Cyberview alone. It has come from various organizations, and we started with the government, but we want to see more of the private sectors to do that, right? So Cyberjaya itself, it has come a long way. And in terms of where we are today, yeah, you've done a good research in terms of our zones, but those zoning only came about right before the COVID. You know, when we revitalized the Cyberjaya master plan.
You mean the 10 years map, the Cyberjaya roadmap, right?
Sorry?
The 5-year planning for the roadmap. So we come for the roadmap.
Yeah, we're coming to that. But it's actually, we have the revitalizing Cyberjaya master plan is actually to work until the year 2045. That's how long it'll be. We're looking at the typical short-term, mid-term, long-term. But we re-look back at the original master plan from what McKinsey came out over 20 years ago. It doesn't say that it's irrelevant, but somehow it just has to be updated, right? So we took into consideration with all those insights globally, looking at the existing content again in Cyberjaya, and also what's outside among our friendly ecosystem partners within Malaysia as well, also in overseas, and we improvised that. So, you know, we were very excited right now because there are a lot more opportunities coming up in the pipeline. Of course, I cannot announce it right now. You know, I don't want to steal the thunder for MYStartup today.
Okay.
And
No worries. All right.
So we in terms of from the new master plan itself, the 4 zoning, so that it's easier people to know not just where is Cyberjaya, so also navigate Cyberjaya to look at it. Okay, with the zones, it comes in terms of, okay, that zone means what?
Okay.
What's in that area? So we talk about Central District, where the typical downtown, where it all started, all the multinational companies, where you have all the amenities, the food, the sabak, the Arabs, and then the shopping center. But then you come to the west area. That's when the universities and the schools, the education comes into play. And then you have the northern part. The northern part now becomes an important element. Why? Last 2 months ago, 16th of March to be exact, in 2023, because before this, people talk about connectivity.
Yeah.
It's a big issue. To me, connectivity has 2 parts. One is the infrastructure, that means talking about all the 5G, fiber optic, and you know, all the you name it in terms of technology networking. But there's also in terms of the physical access. So the most recent launch is actually the 2 MRT stations that we have in Cyberjaya. Hard work from us, you know. We lobbied that way back, I think I would say 2016 or earlier.
Previously, we don't have any the public transportation here.
I mean, we did have the typical bus.
Yep.
And then we have the ERL.
So
then
now
came
we
about
have the
Grab,
MRT.
the ride hailing, and all that. And then, you know, now MRT. So because of MRT, it definitely benefit the communities, the business investors, the rakyat, because the population now has increased.
So just one quick question to add on that. So here, where are we right now? Cyberview basically based in which division?
Okay, we are now in the south zone. So
where
this is
Aerodyne
another important zone.
Yeah.
It's still pretty much a lot of opportunities to be occupied. This is where the content to be occupied by among the startups to also get understand, maybe also with the bigger companies as well. We're looking at with these come with the the focus areas. The focus areas, that means the application to the technology clusters. We're looking at the smart mobility. Smart mobility, I think some of you may have heard of this before. We have the air, that means the aviation, the aerospace, the drone. Then we have the ground. The ground, you talk about topic of the day, electric vehicle. You know, almost everyone from the PMX down to the ministers, down to the corporates and all that. You just imagine in terms of the abundance opportunities of the value chain, right, of the EV side. Even in fact here in Rekascape, we early this year in January, it kept us busy because we launched the first through one of our partner here that they launched the first fast charging station.
You mean U2Go?
Yeah, yes, the Go2U charging hub. So the more to come, but we have been working with all the other companies around, which I'll mention later. So South Zone. So South Zone, smart mobility, smart healthcare. Smart healthcare, last month, first in November, the previous government, the former minister, YBKJ, launched on the operations of the Cyberjaya hospital.
Yep.
And then, last month, I think during Puasa, and the Sultan of Selangor actually launched the actual hospital.
Okay.
And with that, we see the value chain of the healthcare sectors, the clinics, the rehab, the dialysis center. All these are hidden gems that people don't know.
Yeah.
But when they run their operations, they actually use technology. The technology comes from where? Some of them actually either they develop in-house or they actually work with the startups. Amazingly, because we had an opportunity to bring some of the delegations, even including some of the YBs as well, to actually visit some of the companies. These are among the discoveries on the innovation. So South Zone is an opportunity for smart healthcare. And we're also looking at digital creative zone cluster. Here, it's actually started with digital creative.
Correct.
This building itself, Rekascape, is looking at innovation, entrepreneurship, and creativity.
Yep.
This is just as a community area. But of course, you know, amazingly, people may not know, in this building alone, we have almost 30 companies, of which most of them are actually startups.
Yep.
Right? Because, you know, we don't expect startups to be in the office all the time. You have to look out for business, right? You have to stay alive. And there are companies across the road. So a lot of this, the creative, digital creative, but we want more. But these are the buildings that we always refer to Cyberview without I mention it. Yep. But there are other, I would say, the property owners, which we work closely with them. Yes, we are competing in terms of trying to get companies to occupy, but we always say that, you know, let's work together. We want to see growth of those companies from Cyberjaya, because it's a homegrown, right? Homegrown from Malaysia, and the market is not Cyberjaya. The market is not just Malaysia. The market is, like you said, today we're talking about ASEAN region, but we're already immediately talking, we've been talking about global. So again, as a preferred tech investment for Cyberjaya, globally, it's not new. It's just that we are amplifying further, get people to know where we are and what we are doing.
So you're working also close with MYStartup, right? To getting the people to come in and promote. Yes,
we have an MOU with them just for formalization. But it's more about the execution. I think with COVID, I think we held a few series of seminars because MYStartup has abundance of databases of SMEs, the bigger ones. These are the conventional companies, right? They would require automation, digitalization. It's just that more awareness and matching that would require. In fact, yesterday I just had a meeting with both the deputy CEO and CEO of MYStartup, because we are now looking at a very, super secret, upcoming high-tech investment of company in the pipeline very soon, inshallah. Pray that, you know, we will benefit with everyone.
Yeah.
Especially even to Malaysians.
Just to ask the audience, how many of you are in smart mobility or smart vehicle? Can you raise your hands? No one? No. Smart healthcare? Anyone? Okay, we have 1, 2. How about digital content, digital creative, clean tech? So we have 1.
Just to let to further define. When we talk about digital creative, it's not just pre-production, post-production, animation, creative content. We also covers those AI, even the talking about normal software development, all those within the tech taxonomy of the software side of it. So we lump it up.
Basically, the one that raised their hand just now, how do Cyberview role in ensuring these people are benefiting to the collaborative environment in Cyberjaya, because you have the northern, you have the southern. I think because of we doing even here today, then I know Cyberjaya the north, south, west, east. So how do you promoting well so that people can benefit this environment?
We got few initiatives. I know we get pretty excited, right, with some of these things to know. There are few initiatives that we launched internally. We don't like to simply launch without proper execution. One thing about Malaysia, we are good at announcement, but execution is very important.
Yeah, we good announcement, signing MOU. Today we got 5 MOU, 4 MOU, right? Yeah, I know. Okay.
So among the initiatives that we just started off is actually the collaboration campus.
Okay.
It sounds like academic, but it's actually not about academic. We always say, look at Cyberview itself as your potential client. Look at Cyberview itself as your potential partner. Look at Cyberview itself as, possibly to give some advice and where are the opportunities, where are the networks and access. So collaboration campus, physically, there are buildings. Physically, there are companies, tenants, beyond tenants, right? But do the tenants or the companies inside each of these buildings actually know one another? Before they can get to know one another, you need to introduce yourself, right? The meet and greet, then we introduce, what kind of, after you get to know one another, then say that, you give opportunity to say, what are your plans? And then, what is Cyberview's plan? And then what's your challenges? So we can't do this without collaborative. So we call it the collaboration campus because it gives that access to companies, networks. It gives access to facilities. There are facilities that can be used. There are charges, and there are also non-chargeable. If you have more conversation and you can have a deeper conversation, not the surface conversation, understanding the problems or the challenges that can become into opportunities, then you can get things to be done. For example, how can a creative company, if you get to know there is an autonomous vehicle company or electric vehicle company, or even a ride-hailing company, you can work together if they don't know each other. Either the CEOs of these two companies, once they get to, I can put my content inside the vehicle. That becomes the entertainment, infotainment in the vehicle. Or some capabilities or whatever that they may require, when they can, something that can pitch. But of course, through all these programs coming from even Cradle or the other agencies, in terms of developing, we still need to develop this business acumen. It also addresses the business acumen as we speak, when we run this kind of collaborative conversations, initiatives together. So in fact, one of the this year, I think we have another partner called 25 Startups. I'm not sure whether he's here.
I think Siva is here. Siva, are you here? Oh, yeah, that's Siva.
Siva is my close buddy. Of where he is. I'm proud to say that he's the market access guru in a way, because he's like networks. We're talking about corporates and all that. So I told him, say, hey, I know 25 Startups is very new. Why don't you have more of these conversations here with the companies? We bring along all the other companies, even the outside of Cyberjaya, get to know one another. You can collaborate. Collaboration, networking doesn't restrict any borders, right? It's just a matter of get people to converse. We now can meet physically. We just know how your physical distance and just mind yourself on your health tech and all that. But we need to network. So collaboration campus is something that we have started with. We get companies to sign up. There is a formalization that we do with them, like a letter of partnership or for the collaboration campus. And we tell them what are the benefits that we do, what are the benefits that we have. There are certain things that we don't promote out loud. There are some limitations to that. But when you have the conversation, that you may get to know also some of the things that you can benefit.
I think for the sake of everyone here, basically, Cyberjaya is not only a place where you have building, you have land, but actually it's more than that, it's beyond than that. So please make do with this network actually, especially for the new startup, right? Because a lot of people are asking me, where can I find a space? Where can I find a space that gives me a lot of opportunity, a lot of access? Yes, Cradle one of that, but our office also limited. We only have like one floor. So like even like Cyberview, you have the tall building there, you can access and you can network with them. Not only that, because the startup also here, you can network with them. They are serial entrepreneurs also here. So some of you guys, sometimes when we network, you guys ask about where to get not only funding access, but also networking access, access to the factory, access to the corporate, access, even though access to the government. Cyberview also part, even though your featureize, I mean the neighbor in front of your office, featureize also helping in terms of the sandbox or whatever.
You know, if I can interject, one of the things that we have, we do have is actually the stakeholders engagement.
Yes.
The engagement that we have, when we talk about stakeholders are widely defined. That also include the staff, the companies, your customers. In Cyberjaya, there's so many stakeholders. But of course, we have the key stakeholders like local council and all that. Yes, those are important to make sure the city is, there's always improvements lah. You're talking about jalan and lampu gelap and all that. Fine. But in terms of engaging and understanding what are the opportunities, say we have the one that we are not, we want to have more penetration would be the bigger companies, right? For example, like Shell, right? They are here. There are only one part of Shell that is here. It's more of the business process outsourcing. But that business itself would have some opportunities that if you know what they are and we get them to actually be connected with the startups, there could be those opportunities be unlocked, right? So similarly, when we have, I think I had an opportunity to visit another gem here in Cyberjaya. It's called House of Innovation. Physically, it's a building called House of Innovation because the first thing that I saw was actually pokok durian. It's actually a durian tree. But there's a building there that's actually an indoor greenhouse with producing fresh lettuces and supat choy. That House of Innovation is actually being run by an IoT company. And interestingly enough, this IoT company, they collaborate with MMU because they benefited from the program by our friendly party, Meranti, through mostly on the National Technology Innovation Sandbox, to sandbox on their smart farming.
Okay.
That's just one side. So my question to them now, how do you get this IoT enabled farming being applied and being sold and commercialized and growth further out to the market?
Okay.
So they are thriving right now. They say that we're working with Kementerian Pertanian dan Keterjaminan Makanan.
KPKM.
Try to
Keterjaminan Makanan, food security.
Right. But is it just that?
Yep.
Right. Agriculture is just one. So agriculture is another. I would say agri-tech is another area that Cyberview has some interest as well.
Yep.
There's a lot of opportunities. Even in Rekascape, we supported urban
Maybe you can add on that because my next question is related to that because now when we say smart mobility, smart healthcare and also digital creative, only few. But I believe we have some aerospace company here, we have some gaming company here, also marketplace, I can see AI, robotic, or even the education platform is here. So, to add on to that, is there any specific field that you guys are exploring right now or you guys want to venture in, apart from the three earlier that we mentioned? Maybe they can benefit from that.
Our focus is still with the three technology clusters because the clusters is huge.
Yep.
It's just like, and even when
it's not even though you say smart mobility, it's not about robotic or car only. It's beyond that, right?
Yeah, because we talk about technology, always talk about the boring stuff, right? Very dry. Cloud computing, data analytics, and IoT. Yeah, it's more about how you apply all this to the actual problems or the actual business. So we somewhat say, hey, as far as we supportive of all the technologies, but we still maintain with the three technology clusters. For Cyberview, even before the revitalized Cyberjaya Master Plan, we talk about focusing on the Global Tech Hub initiative that focuses on the 10 technology focus areas. As I mentioned, that also you aside from the earlier green, there's a green technology, the IoT and all that. So we don't close the door for that because we know technology evolves.
Yeah.
Right. Even today itself, the topic of the day is AI.
AI. Now
people talk about ChatGPT is the more of the application of it. But
last year, like NFT, blockchain, now AI. We don't know in the future what.
This morning, interestingly enough, I actually overheard over the radio, one of the local radio. They actually first they aired Ariana Grande, and they used the AI, and Ariana Grande was actually singing Sheila Hamzah's song.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm sure that interesting what will be kind of innovation will be coming up. and the support that will be needed from the MYStartup initiative.
Even though today also the DNA come with the metaverse also is the evolving of the technology from the beginning.
I can't wait to try it. You know, Karam has not given me the opportunity.
One testing round,
He gave more priority to my boss. So
okay, no worries. So just to go to the end of the session, right? So let's say, like you said earlier, we like to sign MOU, partnership agreement, LOA exchange, just to make a formality. But out of this MOU today that we're signing after this, we signed already, just for the exchange. What you want to see MYStartup, and for that benefit, not only benefit both of us, but benefit the ecosystem here today that come to the event.
Okay, our relationship with Cradle has come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, even my relationship with Cradle has come a very, very, very long way. You know, but we have seen the success from this relationship. Hence, it's for the formalization. Very pleased that we are honored to be recognized as the chapter partner. That's very important,
guys.
Because we've been always low profile. You know,
Cyberview, actually,
Cyberjaya.
our Central Region chapter partner. Give a round of applause to them today. The MUSN. So, in Central Region, not only MYStartup itself, we're gonna have. We're going to be assisted by Cyberview to cross-promote more events to the benefit of the ecosystem.
Yeah. You know that we have our signature program. Some of you may not know. We have this Cyberview Living Lab program.
CLLA.
That's just the abbreviation. People say you have to pronounce it correctly. Cyberview Living Lab Accelerator. It has made mark. You know, I think one of our prominent partner, where is he? I think I saw him just now. But he'll be the next speaker after this, I think, in the next slot.
Which one?
Huh?
Which one? Who?
The guy lah, the gentleman.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, in fact, there's an upcoming cohort. I think I just spoke to Karam. Some excitement because when he saw the journey, he said, "Yeah, it's timely. We're going to have the journey map for Cyberview Living Lab Accelerator." Okay, call to action, Angka Heng, my head of innovation and industry commercialization. Cyberview Living Lab Accelerator is going to be announced for the 16th cohort next month. You know, we're going to call for participation soon, and do watch out for that.
Ang dah batuk. Ang, get ready, No worries. All right.
Okay, I'm expecting at least, some percentages of the crowd today's event to be, in the lookout for the CLLA. Because you know why? Because the CLLA has benefited from our relationship with Cradle.
Oh.
It has garnered not just directly from Cradle, it's also from the Cradle's network. Because first and foremost is actually the funding. It's one of the key pillar of ecosystem, right? Funding. So some of the startups actually have, I think, some of the figures that we have captured from the companies. I think nothing less than 11 million ever since the accelerator been launched, just via Cradle products. Yet alone from your networks, that means the VCs, the angels, and all the other through our demo days. So do watch out for that. So
when is it? When is this? You're going to announce that?
Which one?
The new cohort.
Misha, bila? End of next month, this month. The new cohort. This month.
Yeah.
End of this
month. Do catch up, guys. The new cohort was Cyberview Living Lab Accelerator.
Because we have nurtured 90 startups.
Yeah.
Right? I know one of them just announced on his FB that he's going to be an expat.
Which one?
He's one of our alumni, the Lorry, if you know Nadir.
Okay.
We're very proud of the Lorry success. He's among the early version of our Cyberview Living Lab Accelerator. Our accelerator improvised the model over the years.
Yeah.
We don't just stay stagnant because from our conversation with the partners, that help a lot to benefit the participants, the startups that go into the accelerator program.
So guys, this kind of conversation is more to give you some insight what actually we do. We don't only provide fund, but we also provide others support. Hence why we be known as ecosystem development. We develop the ecosystem itself. Together with the support from you guys, we will learning time to time. And I can say this, the numbers of ecosystem involved nowadays, last year, is not similar when I joined in this ecosystem way back in 2014, 2015. It evolved much more faster, rapidly. Everything is on your finger point only. So keep on updating, keep on looping, follow our social media to know that, because you already spoke about something excited about Cyberview Living Lab. Any other news, excited news to be shared with the audience?
I'm taking opportunity to promote. We have soft landing zone incentive.
I have to give the opportunity because you're also part of this co-organizer. Okay, go on.
We have soft landing zone incentive. We got actually quite a number of incentives, but of course there's some qualifying criteria have to go through some processes. So bear with us. My word to startups, even the companies out there. Yes, as far as we're excited to announce all the benefits that we have, but being somewhat related to government, we do have some of the criteria and SOPs. But of course, we try to expedite whichever that we can. So soft landing zone is one of the incentive because we give, a rent-free of hot desking, co-working space for up to 12 months. We have the internship incentives where Cyberview actually subsidize some of the interns that you hire. Of course, provided you have to be in Cyberjaya.
Yeah. So you're in Cyberjaya, you can get subsidization of internship from Cyberview.
We have job slots incentive.
I announce again, you must be in Cyberjaya to get the incentive, right? Okay.
We have one that we actually don't announce it out loud, which is the rental incentive. So I got all my big team behind there.
Okay, all the money, ladies behind there, go rental incentive. Okay, semua okay, all right.
So rental incentive is interesting. I only announced in this room.
Okay.
It gives up to 100,000 ringgit per company if you sign up for a space for 2 years minimum. But of course, provided you are in the qualify in some of the criteria that we set.
Exclusive here? Exclusive here? Can go up to 1,500? No.
1,500 what?
Incentive.
1,500 what?
I mean,
100,000 ringgit.
100,000 ringgit only?
100,000 ringgit.
100,500 lah.
Cukup lah.
Okay.
You cannot, give so much money, right?
Okay,
it's more about the value of the money.
All right.
So that's among those things.
Okay, last question, Shafinaz. What you want to see the improvement of this ecosystem? Because we also, MYStartup, we don't only provide content, create content, develop content, we also learn from the partners. What you want to see Cradle, MYStartup, to do in the next 1 or 2 years, or maybe tomorrow, to improvise this ecosystem.
We use a lot of the word today. I think among 2 words that mentioned by Ash just now.
Yeah.
Inclusivity and sustainability.
Wow.
Sustainability is very, very key. Important. For that, startups need to be agile, flexible, resilient. Because I want to see, I for one, individually, personally, I would like to see the growth of the companies. Why I'm here, just looking at Cyberjaya, because I've seen, among my clients coming from the multinational companies, you name it, Motorola, I don't know, I got some of these names, they're all the way in Penang and in Johor. But in Cyberjaya, we want to see this interaction and the sustainability of the smaller companies, the startups, the SMEs, to stay around. I don't want to hear the 20-30% of the lasting of the companies, in the Malaysian business. In the economy, we should be aiming for 110% lah kan. Kalau boleh kan. It's too big hack lah, big hairy audacious goal. But then sustainability is very key. I want to see more of the startups to sustain, stay alive. And I think interaction with all the ecosystem partners. We strive, I'm sure Cradle also try to improve our, the processes inside.
Yep.
Not everything is flourish, even on Cyberview, for Cyberview itself. To work with stakeholders, even here in Cyberview, it's not easy. It has been very challenging. We're not giving up. There are always ways on how to work around it. To us, having conversations is very important. That helps a lot. So that is my
I think for the startup itself, if you go back 5-7 years back, we can see few of them only. But now they are booming every day. They are improving every day. I can see when we do program like pre-accelerator, even though my hackathon, their technology is outstanding, right? It's just that how we provide the conducive environment to them is quite important. That's what we learned, I think, from the senior management Cradle, for example, Mr. Norman, Mr. Ash. Every day we discuss on how we can improve the process, how we can improve the environment to the ecosystem. We hope this support from the ecosystem itself, especially the startup, to keep on give us feedback, right? I know some of you, even today, some of you come and also testing us, the team, that you cannot unable to register 2 pads, because it's this kind of feedback we want to know. So we know that these are the content that we created that you want to hear. You want to know the updates. Because at the end of the day, the benefit is the ecosystem, not the agency, right?
Agree. Yeah.
So we're just the postman to deliver to all of you.
Precisely.
All right. Thank you so much, Shafinaz.
Thank you, Isham.
Give a round of applause to Shafinaz.
Everyone. Hope I've got you guys.